Okay, next, finding a product to sell. Now, the process that we're talking about here, I've said this a number of times throughout this program already. This process can be used to sell literally anything. It doesn't matter what it is, preferably a higher ticket product or service. But really, you could sell $100 stuff with this. It would be kind of dumb and a waste of time. But you could if you wanted to. You can use, look, if you're a real estate agent, you can use the exact process we're talking about here to sell more houses or get more listings easily. If you're a car salesperson, you can use it to sell more cars. If you're a mortgage broker, you can use it to sell more mortgages. If you're an insurance broker, you can use it to sell more policies. Doesn't matter what. You have a digital product. You can, this is how I sell my high-ticket digital stuff all the time. You can do it for that. You can do it for services. That's what we're going to be talking about here, local business service stuff. You can use it to sell that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. Don't get hung up. Write this down, please. Don't get hung up on the product or service. The product or service, I'm going to say it because it's true, is meaningless. Freak out time. What do you mean it's meaningless? That's fraud. You're going to go to jail. I can't, the freaking governor is tapping my lines. The product or service is meaningless, and it doesn't matter what you sell. Now I will explain. Peel you off the ceiling and explain to you. The only thing that matters is the result, not the product or the service. What I mean by that is people get bogged down in the stuff. Nobody cares about the stuff. They care about what the stuff is going to do for them. That's it. Okay? I'll give you a little bit of a crazy example, but I just recently heard it, and that's why I'm giving it to you. Someone just said this to me the other day, and I've heard it like 100 times, but someone just recently said it to me, and I wanted to punch them in the face. This is how I could tell if someone's an idiot or not. If they say something like this, they're really dumb. Okay? And no offense, because a lot of people say it. Like, this is a very common thing. A friend of mine went to the dentist, and he had to have, I think it was a root canal or something. I don't know, some kind of procedure done or whatever. And he was like, I forget the exact number or whatever it was. He's like, dental insurance didn't cover it because they said it was optional. I didn't need to do it or whatever. And I got this thing and whatever. And the guy charged me like $450. And I was like, yeah, it sucks, man. Like, what, you want me to fix your tooth for you? Like, I don't know why are you telling me this? Like, I don't really care. He's like, $450. And it only took him 10 minutes. That's when you know you're dealing with an idiot. That person's bogged down in the stuff, right? So what I said to him was, I said, would you have felt better if he charged you $450 and spent 3 hours drilling your tooth? Because now you're getting more stuff, right? You're getting more of his time. You're getting more of his attention. But you're also in pain for much longer. Would you rather just get the result, or do you want more crap? When I say the product doesn't matter, or the service is meaningless, the service or the product, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you is that they don't want what you're giving them. They want the result that what you're giving them is going to get. Nobody wants to diet. Everyone who's overweight wants to lose weight. Does that make sense, right? Nobody wants to, let me see if I can come up with another example. I'll give you another one that I just went through this too. Nobody wants to drive 3 hours in the car. At least most people. Like, I hate driving in the car. It sucks. Nobody wants to drive, especially out of Long Island through New York City, up through Pennsylvania into the mountains. Nobody wants to do that. But most people love going on vacation to the lake house and sitting there for 3 weeks with the kids and kayaking and fishing and being at peace and quiet and no one's around and shooting guns. Like, I love that stuff. I don't want to do the stuff, but I want to get the result, right? So when I say the product doesn't matter, don't take that to mean sell something crappy to people, scam people out of their money, sell something that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that nobody wants the thing you're selling. They want the result your thing is promising. And when you change your mindset to focus on that, selling it becomes a lot easier. I'll tell you a very, very quick story. When I first started my consulting business in 2007, right after I got going, I closed a whole bunch of car deals because I started where I was at. I was in the car business. I got fired. I had a very unique way of selling cars. That was something that nobody else was really doing. I was using the phone to sell them and get people in, booking appointments by outreach, right? And they wanted me to train other people, but I got fired from the dealership. So they hired me back as a consultant, and I said I could do this for you, and I could do it for other people in the dealer group. They had a whole bunch of dealerships that they owned. So I did that. I did other dealers in the dealer group, and then I branched out and I did more dealers and kind of just started with that. And then I started selling online stuff. I started selling search engine optimization. Okay. Now, easiest thing in the world to sell if you know how to do it. Super easy. Everyone thinks it's really hard. It's literally the easiest thing I've ever sold, and I've sold everything under the sun. SEO is the easiest thing I've ever sold. My entire search engine optimization sales pitch, I know nothing about SEO. Still to this day, I've sold hundreds of SEO packages. I know nothing. I don't know what an HTML tag thing is. Nothing. Image this, a backlink, none of it. My whole SEO pitch was this, word for word. And I'm using a plumber as an example, right? It could have been anybody. Mr. Plumber, here's the deal. I'm going to get you a lot of broken pipes. You're going to fix them. As long as I do my job and you do yours, we're going to have a profitable relationship for a very, very long time. When do you want to start? That was literally my whole thing. That's all I said to them. Why? Everyone else is out there saying, well, we're going to do 37 keywords for you, and we're going to do we feel that this is a very high value keyword, so we're going to write articles on this, and we're going to put this, the keyword density has to be 3%, and the plumber's like, dude, I fix toilets. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Why are you doing that? When I say the product doesn't matter, that is what I'm talking about. People don't give a crap. I mean, SEO as an example. People don't give a crap about backlinking. Keyword density, research crap. They don't care. They want the leads coming in so that they can make more money. They want the result. So when we focus on that and that alone, not only providing, but selling becomes a lot easier as well. Providing becomes easier too. Selling becomes a lot easier. Okay? Now, let's move on. Excellent high-ticket products. White label SEO. Sold it for 10 years. Maybe 8. I don't know. But a long time. I sold it for a long time. The only reason why I stopped selling it is because I just got sick and tired of dealing with the customers, to be honest with you. That's really why. It's the customers were giving me a headache, and I just hated managing them. But white label SEO is fantastic, especially if you're just getting started and you don't have results, because a lot of the companies, I'm going to show you one here in a second, but a lot of the companies out there, they have an enormous amount of results that you can show other people. And high ticket sales is all about results. I say that over and over again. So you can very easily go into a company, pay $300 a month for their SEO service, and sell it for $2,500 a month. Right? Or you could pay $300 a month for their service, know your attrition rate after a while, and sell it for $10,000 one time to keep it forever. Because you know that they're going to keep it for about 12 months and they're going to be done with it. Right? So you can do that as well. So white label SEO, fantastic. Websites. I don't know the exact number, so I'm not going to give it to you, but the estimate, maybe 1 million businesses a year in the United States, new businesses, 700,000, somewhere around there, 800,000. Let's just say between 700,000 to 1 million new businesses each year in the United States. What's the one thing they all have in common? They all need some sort of digital footprint. Every one of them. Every single one of them needs a digital footprint. Now, if we go back a couple of videos, I don't remember exactly when it was because, again, remember, this is one long presentation for me. It's different videos for you because I'm making it easier for you to consume. If we go back to earlier in the training, we can take anything and make it a high-ticket product by targeting the right people. So you may be sitting there saying, yeah, Kenny, that's true. 1 million businesses a year, or whatever the number is, 700,000 businesses a year. Most of those business owners are broke. They're starting their first business. They have no money in their pocket, whatever. You're right. 100% right. But what did we talk about when we talked about the golf thing? Golf, crappy high-ticket product. Curing your slice to people in country clubs that cost $100,000 to get into, that's a high-ticket product. New businesses started every year, bad high-ticket audience. The 10% of those new businesses that are started by people who own 3 other ones, good high-ticket product. See where I'm going? You don't want to take the website and sell it to every new business or pitch it to every new business that started. That would be dumb because none of them are going to buy it from you. What you want to do is you want to carve out the audience that meets our criteria. They have the money, they have the need, they have the desire, they have the pain point, and you could fix the problem. Social media management. This is a massive political play. I'm just giving you a little inside tip there, right? I don't want everyone going after politicians because it's a big part of my client. Not a big, but I work with some of them. This is massive when it comes to political candidates. So if you're someone who is interested in doing that, you certainly can. And social media management is huge. You can make a freaking killing by just targeting politicians using social media management. And it is the easiest thing in the world to outsource and sell to them. And you could charge an enormous amount of money for it. They understand social media is the game now. That is the game. And if you can win at that game, you can win an election without having to knock on someone's door. And that's pretty amazing to be able to do that. And I'm not going to get into it because I don't think I legally can, but I've done it for a number of different people. Where with the whole entire thing, and I'm actually involved in a very, very big one right now, and it's not a national candidate that's running for office. It's a state race, but it's a governor's race, and it's a really big one. It's a very popular one. It's far off in the distance, and it's just getting started. But I'm heavily involved in that, and the person's a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time, and we're doing all the digital stuff. Not all of it, but most of it. I worked with that person when they were in lower offices, state houses and Congress and stuff like that. And they didn't have to knock on doors at all. It's all done through social media, especially the local stuff. Now, the governor stuff, they're going to have to knock on doors at some point. They're going to have to do, appearances and events and everything else. But for the little local stuff, you charge $5,000, $10,000 a month to do this stuff, and they never have to step foot out of their office. That's the greatest thing in the world for them. They're paying with somebody else's money, and they never have to leave their office. And they win. Like all the time. And you know what? If they don't win, so what? They're not paying for it anyway. This is the one industry, and I don't really like to put it this way because this is not necessarily true, but just hear me out for a second and you'll understand. This is the one industry, political candidates is what I'm talking about, the one niche, where you can actually not get the result and still leave them happy and still get paid. Now, what I mean by not getting the result is you still have to perform the service that you're talking about. The service you're talking about still has to work, right? The service that you're selling still has to work. What I mean by the result is you can do everything that you tell them you're going to do, they can lose the election, still be happy with your services, and still gladly pay you. There's no other niche in the world like that, right? Like, again, just to compare and contrast, another example, lawyers will stick with that because we've been using it the whole time. If I go to a lawyer and I say, I'll do social media management for you, that'll bring you in more leads. If I do social media management for them, bring them in more leads, and all those leads suck and they don't close any of them, that guy's going to hate me. On the other side, politicians, that niche, I can do social media management, bring in a whole bunch of people, and they can all vote for the person, and they can lose the election, and they're still going to love me and still gladly pay me and probably hire me back next time, right? So again, with social media management specifically, think about that niche because it's just massive. It is massive. And the amount of money that you can make is ridiculous, and it's very easy to sell to them because they're not spending their own money, they're spending somebody else's. Paid ads. That's our highest ticket service that we have here in my company. The one thing with paid ads that you really, really have to know what you're doing in order to do it, or you have to be willing to partner with or hire someone to do it for you because it is complicated. It's not, believe it or not, it's not extremely complicated for like local businesses. Like running an ad for a pizza place is really easy. Running an ad for a lawyer is really easy. Running an ad or some lawyers is easy. Some lawyers it's not. Some lawyers it can be extremely difficult. Running an ad for a gym, easy. Running an ad for like martial arts place, easy. Running an ad for any local business is pretty easy. You literally just drop a pin on the town, target, a little bit of targeting, and you're done. That's pretty much it. But you still need to know how to do all that stuff. You need to know how to write good copy. You need to know what kind of images work, what kind of images don't work. You need to know Facebook compliance. You need to know the difference between if you're running Facebook and YouTube ads. We're kind of getting into YouTube a little bit. You have to know the difference between the compliance on Facebook, compliance on YouTube, two totally different things. If you're doing YouTube stuff, you have to do video, obviously. If you're doing, because the text contextual stuff and the banner stuff, that just on YouTube it sucks. You have to do like video, obviously. And on Facebook, you can do images, video works better. So how do you coach your client through that? Like you have to know all that stuff, right? With that said, though, you can get someone to run the ads for you, and 90% of that stuff you don't have to worry about, but you still have to be able to communicate it with your client, communicate it to your client. So, that is an option, but it's only really an option if you're familiar with that industry already. Email list building and management, our most profitable service by far. By far. I wouldn't consider this high ticket because we sell it for $1,500 a month right now. That's a little bit low for me, but that's still a pretty good chunk of money. And we don't really lose too many of them. Our attrition rate is super low. So, the stick rate's very high with it. And it's just people pay it. They see a result with it. They love it. And it's very easy to sell. And it's very easy to provide as well. We're literally setting up a Aweber account for them. That's it. And we're putting together some stuff that they can do to build up a list. It's easy to do. And I put together programs on how we do it and stuff like that. This right here is where I would start. If I were you, this is where I would start. Email list building and list management is the greatest thing in the world when it comes to offline services because you get a result instantly. And guys, I keep saying it over and over again. Hopefully you wrote it down at least once. Results are everything. Think about this. I go into whatever, car wash, whatever it is. I go into a car wash and I put up some information about a list. They could join a list and they could get 10% off their car wash or whatever. As soon as I put up that flyer in front of the register, those people are signing up for the list. Like the second I'm still there with the person. I'm talking about a local person because we do it all over the country. So we can mail it to the person, email them a PDF, they print it out themselves. But if I'm in there locally with them, I'm in the place, putting it up in front of their register. As I'm doing that, people are seeing it. They're opting in before I even leave. The result is instantaneous. Someone calls me up, car wash, same example. On a Tuesday afternoon, Kenny, we have a big problem. What's the problem? Problem is, we're a car wash. Awesome. I heard of that. I know that already. The problem, though, is that no one's here with dirty cars, so we're not making any money. I can fix that for you, Mr. Car Wash guy. Here's what I'll do. This is a client of mine already, right? I'm totally making this up, but this is how conversations go all the time in my company. Pizza places, we don't have any car washes, I don't think. Pizza places, lawyers, doctors, whatever. I don't have any cars to wash. That's a problem. We're not making any money. Okay, good. What we do have is we have 2,000 people on your email list. So I'm just going to type up a quick email, send it out to them, and you'll have cars in minutes. Send out the email, all of a sudden, cars start pulling in with a coupon or a special or an event or whatever, and they're getting their car washed. Okay, so email list building and list management brings the result in instantaneously. It's our most profitable service because we sell the living crap out of it. It works, it gives a result very quickly, and people go from email list management to paid ads at a very, very high rate. So that's our highest ticket service. So we call it flipping them over. They flip over into the high ticket thing very well at a very high rate because the results come in very quickly. And the last thing that I'll tell you is what results can you get? Think about what your skills are. This is not the first program that you've purchased. It's not. You could say, oh, well, I'm the one person that never bought anything. You're lying to yourself. Stop. This is not the first thing you ever bought. You know things. One of the most frustrating things about the low ticket audience, you won't see this in the high ticket audience. You'll see the opposite of it, actually. They think they know everything, which is crazy because they just paid you 10 grand and they think they know everything, which is dumb. But in the low ticket world, it's one of the two extremes, right? You'll get someone who spends $17 on a product and they think that they're like the leader of the free world. They know everything about what you're teaching them. It's like you're like nothing, you're an idiot, you don't know anything. They're the teacher, you're the student. Like you get that with a $17 buyer. But on the other side of it, much more than that, 80% of the audience, that's 20%, the people that know everything. The 80% of the audience will say, I don't know anything. I'm just getting started. I don't know. I can't even do this. I can't even do that. I can barely check my email. And then I ask them, how many products have you purchased? Well, listen, I've been scammed so many times in my life, you wouldn't even imagine. I probably spent $20,000 on products and none of them worked. So wait a second. You spent $20,000 on products, books, courses, videos, whatever, and you don't know anything? Like, look, and maybe all of them didn't work. Maybe you had a really, really bad streak of bad luck, right? None of them worked. But you had to have learned something along the way. Like something. You had to have learned how to put up an opt-in form. What an opt-in form is. What an email list is. What social media is. What Facebook is. What Instagram is. What Twitter. You have to understand that a lot of people in the $17 marketplace, which is where you're coming from, and that's why I'm talking to you about this, sell themselves way short. And for some reason, and I never really quite figured this out, even though I've been in this industry for a long time, I've never quite figured this out. For some reason, you don't understand that the plumber doesn't know what you know. And that's really important. That's something you might want to write down too. The plumber doesn't know what you know. And the plumber values what you know more than you will ever even begin to understand. And what I mean by that is this. You sit here and say, you don't have to admit it, but you're thinking it. You'll sit here and say, email list building. How many times have I heard to build a list? Thousands. Basic. Everybody heard it before. Everybody knows they've got to have a landing page, duh, right? Everybody knows that. But you're wrong. Very wrong. It's hurting you, your business, your family, your income, your house, your wife, your cars, your kids, your husband, whatever. It's hurting everything in your life because you're wrong. That is the main sticking point, besides not doing anything. And I just cut those people out. That's the main sticking point for people who actually take action in the things that I teach. They don't value what they know. You think that the plumber knows email lists. He doesn't know what you're talking about. You think the gym owner understands SEO, and he doesn't. You think the driveway guy knows Facebook ads, and he doesn't. You think the tanning salon knows what a landing page is, and they don't. Do you know how many people, clients I've picked up? I can't even give you a number. It's probably 90% of my client base. This is how I get them. I'm going to tell you right now how I get most of my clients. Most of my clients come from people who are running ads on Facebook. We go into their ad, we click on them, we look at them, and they lead to a home page or a contact us form or a free consultation form or a free estimate for a contractor. We go into their thing, change it to a landing page that's actually appealing, that's going to convert, that works, and we get a result for them instantly. They don't know that stuff. And your biggest problem right now is you think that they do. You have to start taking an inventory of what it is that you know and what you're good at and what you've learned from all the stuff that you've purchased and done in your life. And you have to start valuing that correctly. Because what you think these people know, you're wrong. They don't know it. And you're missing out on a major opportunity. So all the things that I listed here, white label SEO, website, social media management, paid ads, email list building management, all that stuff can be outsourced. You can do it with other people who can do it for you. That's not a problem. You can find it on Fiverr. You can find it on Upwork, wherever. Doesn't matter. I really would like it, though, if you focused a little bit. I know everybody wants to take the easy way out, and I'm not against that. I said it before. If there's an easy way, take it. But I want you to sit down and really think about what results you personally can get them. Forget about outsourcing it. Forget about hiring someone or partnering with someone. What results, based on the information that you have, based on the knowledge that you have, based on the experience that you have, what change can you make in their business or in their life? Is it something simple like an email list? Because I'm telling you right now, to a tanning salon, a restaurant, a diner, a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, a driveway guy, a pizza place, a roofing contractor, that's a big deal. You may not think it's a big deal because you've heard it 1,000 times, but they've never heard it before. Maybe you know social media stuff. You're really good with social media management. They don't know how to do that stuff. They're posting one stupid post a day to 3 people, and no one's even looking at it. They don't understand it. Maybe you do. What result can you get them without the help of somebody else? And take an inventory of that and see where you come out, see where you land with it. Because I'm telling you right now, the stuff that you know is valuable. You're boxing yourself in. It's, I don't know, do we call it confirmation bias? Like I don't know what the word is, but like basically you're stuck in the environment that you're in. It's like, we've been talking about politicians and political campaigns and stuff. It's like someone who just watches MSNBC all the time. Or just on the other side, just watches like Fox News all the time, right? You know the person, and we experience them all the time. And I don't really care where you end up on it. That doesn't matter. But like the person who's like, the vaccine is going to make you grow a 3rd arm. I know what they're watching on TV. The other side, if you don't get the vaccine, you're killing my grandmother. I know what TV they're watching. Now you have someone like me who's like, it's probably going to work for most people. They may have some problems because it's brand new, but new things have problems. Like I'm not buying the first year of a car because it's probably going to screw up a little bit. Probably going to have some problems here and there, but overall, probably pretty good for most people. I'm relatively young, never had a health issue in my life. I'm probably going to roll the dice on this one. 10 years from now, I'll probably get it. I'm coming up with that conclusion because I'm taking stock of everything. I don't want to get locked in my bubble because then I don't know what the outside world is talking about or what they know, what they're doing. I want to get a little taste of everything and then form my own point of view. In the low ticket, the reason why I'm giving you that example, in the low ticket environment, the people in this niche or this industry, you guys, the purchasers here, you get locked into thinking that everyone believes what you believe and knows what you know. And you have that, I only watch Fox News mindset. I only watch MSNBC mindset. You can't have that because people outside of your bubble think wildly different than you do. They don't know the things that you know. And quite honestly, you don't know the things they know, right? So it's a perfect match because the plumber can fix the pipes and you have the ability to get the broken pipes for them. That was my pitch for SEO for years. You have the way to get the customers and they have a way to service, get the customer result, get the service done. So take an inventory, take stock of what you know, what you're good at, what you've learned in the past. Don't sell it short. I've made a lot of money by doing simple things like putting opt-in forms on people's pages. It's my highest profitable service, most profitable service. Any one of you can do that. I'm pretty confident in that. Any one of you can do email list building and management. Any one of you. You may not feel like you can. You may think it's not valuable enough. It is to the right people.